Welcome everybody to our coverage of the NBFL Super Bowl. This is season 26, and this is the big one. We've got happygrue and his green banana grabbers, the Simeon team on one side, and Coach Bazakistine and his Houston Treants, the Wood Elves, on the other. Joining me in the booth is Dashergo. Is that how you pronounce that name technically?
Right, yeah, got the Cajun French.
The Cajun French. Okay, so Dashergo is with me. He's no stranger to this league, and indeed no stranger to these apes. You're in his division, and
Yeah,
go ahead.
I think the best thing I've accomplished in the NBFL is the one season with Rel and Brew where I won the division. It's a minor claim to fame, but I'll take it. But no,
Considering
playing him twice a year, my team is very familiar with this ape team and how annoying they are. So.
considering that Rel was the other AFC Championship game participant, that's quite the division having all three of you in there at once. And it wasn't long ago. Nay, it was just last season that you were in this very game. It unfortunately didn't go well, but leading up to this type of game, we're going to have a bunch of spectators. There's commentary. It's the Super Bowl of a league that you invest so much time into. What was your mentality, or like how did that lead up to that game go for you? Were you like nervous? Were you watching replays constantly? How was it?
I mean, at the end of the day, it's another Blood Bowl game. You don't get to this Blood Bowl game without kind of knowing what you're doing and having, you have faith in your abilities at this point. I think every team in this league thinks they're good enough. The coaches are certainly good, but when you've made it this far, you have a bit of confidence. And really, last year, I thought I had the better team. I didn't think I was coaching as well. Turns out when the dice decide you're not playing as well, you're not playing as well. But I didn't think I was coaching as well, but I thought I had the better team. I thought if things went my way, I would win that game, and I came away empty-handed. So
Unfortunate. It reminds
yeah,
me a little bit. I myself was in the NCBB title game a few seasons ago, and I remember vividly 30-ish minutes before the game, I was playing a different video game, like Destiny. Like I was just casually shooting some aliens, just doing whatever. And Wog messages me. He's like, "What are you doing?" And I'm like, "I'm just trying to take my mind off the game." He's like,
yeah,
"Dude, you should be like watching replays and looking." I was like, "Look, I've watched a few replays. I have an idea of how I want my lizard defense against Necro to go, but I need to not focus on the game.
yeah.
Because like you said, once you get in there, it's just another Blood Bowl game. If you play well, you give yourself a shot, and whatever happens, happens."
Yeah, you do what you know you're going to do to give yourself a chance to win, and if it goes your way, it's going to go your way.
All right, so we have our kickoff. We've got the Wood Elves receiving. They have a little bit of help from inducements. They've got one extra apothecary and one wizard. And with Baz receiving, we're likely to see the dreaded Baz Dakistine offense, to where he literally withdraws pretty much everybody on his team into his backfield, which has perplexed many a coach this season. And I don't know if you've experienced it, but it's interesting to watch, because I've had discussions with people while we do commentary, and a lot of people say you need to, push forward and take their space away. And I think that's exactly what he wants, because this is not the best example of it, but there's times, and we may get this in the next couple turns, he's going to be all the way back with his entire team in the last three rows or columns of this field. And so he literally stretches the field from top to bottom and brings the other team all the way forward. And so when he gets around them, inevitably, as Wood Elves, they're stretched incredibly thin.
Yeah,
So,
and it's really effective when it works. Gru is so good at his positioning, and this Simeon team is just so good at positioning with all the grab. It's going to be fun to see how he's going to respond, knowing that it looks like that's what Baz wants to do. He's also down what I think is his best gorilla. He's missing, Heart of Darkness, who is uh, stand firm diving tackle, which would be super helpful against these elves. But
yeah, he would be. We'll have to give a little bit of credit to Stim for taking him out for this game. I imagine with the
yeah,
double perm, he's going to be replaced in the offseason, whether via the draft or a rookie.
he'll be a coach next season.
Yeah. There's been rumors, though, that Gru's relatively intrigued by trying to run corn once we switch to 2020. So
Yeah,
maybe the Ape Overlord thing won't last too long.
he's got to keep this team. This is the best logo on the entire site. Credit to AD for making the logo for him, but it's it is absolutely my favorite, even though I hate this team.
For sure. Shout out to Arrested Development for the logo. I mean, Houston's logo is no slouch either.
No, but I'll go with Gru on this one. You can't have a tree for your logo and then not have a tree on your team. Come on.
Now, to be fair, he did have a tree, and it died in a very rare bout of tree-on-tree violence. Gark in the game chat claiming credit, because in fact it was Gark. There was just a random block late in the game where the tree, they had some argument over something force related, and, well, no more tree for the Treants.
No, but really, both of these teams making it through a season of really high TV Blood Bowl with the players they've got. There's some pretty amazing players on each team. Armor 7 that you don't expect to make it.
No, Devonta Adams, he was injured previously, but Eel Potion brought him back to full capacity. Strength 5, Frenzy, Blodge. I mean, he's nasty.
Yeah, injured last season and potioned right before the playoffs. But again, made it through this season with no issues. And then you got Stan Jones on the other side.
There he is. Yep, Strength 4, Agility 5.
Strip ball tackle war dancer with 4 strength and 5 agility. So just a scary piece.
Yeah, that's the thing about this What Elf team. It's not some super overpowered stat freak roster across the board, much like we mentioned Gark already, but he had just a ridiculous Wood Elf team in the NCBB that had stat freaks everywhere. You could argue that roster was better than the one Baz is using, but Baz, he doesn't have a lot of tools to use, but when you have a Movement 9, granted just recently after the championship game Movement 9, Agility 5, Blodge Step Guard Catcher, and Veronica Surehands. Stan Jones, like you said. The other ward answer is Mighty Blow, Tackle, Sidestep, very serviceable. But beyond that, we've got an Agility 5 Dodge Lino and not much else. And there goes another player, Diving Tackle from a Cal graduate, making its mark on the game.
And that's what this Simeon team does very well. There's a surprising amount of diving tackle. They just really control the pitch well.
Yeah, grab, stand firm, diving tackle, some sidestep, strength 5, frenzy piece. It sounds simple. It's like, oh, Simeon, the roster's not great. You just have to make sure to beat down the AV8 gorillas. You don't really usually have to worry about a silverback too much. But granted, this one's not just any silverback. He's the reincarnation of Joseph Broadnax, a legendary rat ogre from the NCBB. But somehow it's not easy. We have not figured out a way to just like get these monkeys off our back.
Yeah, what an annoying silverback. 6 strength, break tackle.
Yeah, I wonder who let him trade up for that player. Oh wait, that was me. Yeah. And coincidentally, on the other side, Veronica Surehands was a player that I let Baz trade up for. So apparently this game is just 100% my fault, and I should apologize to everybody for letting this happen.
You're just looking for your cut at the Super Bowl victory.
Something like
that.
AG. Wow. Probably not worth it, but Wrestle Dauntless is a nice piece. This is not the start Baz wanted, I can imagine that.
But yeah, I mean, that's a rookie catcher, but it's still catchers are nice to have.
Well, that one's not a rookie. It was Wrestle Dauntless. The previous one was a...
Yeah, the previous one was a rookie.
Yeah.
I pulled up the wrong one. I was like,
down 2 players already.
Down 2 players, and that speed advantage is chipping away. I was about to ask if he was going to try to, force the early score, but looks like he's just going to remove Elves from the pitch.
Yeah. It certainly makes it easier. Welcome to the Twitch chat, Dirthu.
Here is another diving tackle gorilla. The other one.
The other one, yeah.
Like I said, it is sneaky. It's I like the other one better because I think stand firm pairs with diving tackle a little better. But that's sidestep, and sidestep is also
The pain.
just hard to get off your guy if you need to get him away from a ball carrier.
Well, plus the one missing is also tackle, diving tackle, correct?
Yeah.
Or no,
Yeah.
he's not diving tackle, but he's tackle. But still. Yeah, it's hard to
try to regroup.
probably go backwards, I imagine. To look how to spell your name for somebody. Yeah, Dash is another Texan, same as Baz and myself, so we got a rowdy group of people here. Did he just block himself from dodging out?
He did.
Must have a plan, I guess.
Maybe he's gonna throw a block there.
Block your way out of or through Bono, I guess.
Yeah. Well,
I think Durthu's actually from Texas as well, if memory serves.
He is. He's a good guy. He's
good guy. Yeah.
Down the road in Lubbock, several hours away from anywhere else in Texas. He's actually outside of Lubbock. He is a stand-up dude. I know that guy.
All right, not a stand-up dude is Shaq Lawson taken down by diving tackle there. So
that's 2 diving tackle armor breaks.
Yeah.
So far, we're 3 turns in.
Oh yes, Gark. I'm Texan. You can't tell by my lack of accent, but was born here, moved to Ohio for several years as a child, moved back to Texas, and been here ever since, for better or for worse. Well, you have to remember, Texas is kind of a big place, so you probably have different accents if you're from Houston or Austin or Dallas or Lubbock or whatever the case is. Quick blitz here by Devin Still. Probably not a whole lot going on this turn as the monkeys look to mirror the Wood Elves. Dutch calling for a foul. I mean, agility 5 dodge is a nice piece to foul, but I don't think apes have a dirty player on hand.
No, they don't, and it's not, Grue's style. I think he's, again, just so good with the positional Blood Bowl of having those guys there.
It is actually an interesting juxtaposition between last year's Super Bowl, where you and Asti were both more foul inclined.
Yeah, we're fouling every turn.
It's also a little bit on the roster. I mean, Norse and Chaos Dwarf need that numerical advantage. Wood Elves are used to being at a numerical disadvantage, and Baz just doesn't really ever foul. Gru doesn't either. Apes, I think it actually makes a lot of sense to foul with them, considering how much grab you have. You just pull those juicy targets to good foul opportunities, and your linos are dirt cheap, and they're not that good per se.
The linemen are not good. I mean, extra arms is nice, but it's certainly not a good skill. And ultimately, they're 87, so they're going to go away.
Oh,
so you might as well trade.
Nice play there, chaining Ryans into a block from Broadnax. I thought he was going to move Garbers into a block on the catcher, but nice little bonk on the head. This is not looking good for the Wood Elves. Do you remember who won the coin toss? I want to say Baz did.
I was not here for the coin toss, so I don't see who won it. So
okay,
I got that in before I jumped onto the game.
I mean, he's still Wood Elves. Gark has famously said that it only takes 2 elves to score. You need one to throw the ball and one to catch the ball. So he's got enough players for it. But this is not what he wanted, for sure.
No, you notice, Grue's keeping that one bonobo back just as a nice safety.
Yeah, I mean, he's kind of like a basic boy, but still. Middle of the field, completely under his control. He's got a strength 5 frenzy piece somewhere.
Yeah, and the Wood Elves just continue to push. They get, you're gonna have to get some elves at least down. I mean, some apes at least down if you're the elves here.
Going for a sideline cage, perhaps?
Yeah.
Who barely makes the catch, but he does. So strength 4, sidestep piece, safely guarded in there. We're already technically about halfway through the first half.
Yeah, it would be 2 go forts for a cage dive from Joe. I think we're gonna see that, but another elf is off the field.
Well, this one's not off the field. He's just on the ground, which is not
That was
not good. This is where coaching really comes into play. It's very easy just to move a bunch of guys early in the turn and create some sort of like what looks like a wall. But if you're very careful with your positioning of your guards and your tackles and your diving tackle, you can make it much more difficult for Baz. Granted, he's agility 5 leap, but he's not in scoring range this turn, so he's going to have to protect the ball for at least one more turn after this.
Yeah, and you can't overcommit here either, because I mean that there's a rookie Wood Elf lineman at the bottom of the field, but rookie Wood Elf lineman can do a lot. So yeah, you got to at least commit a guy to
mark him at least. It wouldn't be super shocking if Aaron Glenn, the player who just snaked the dodge at the end of last turn, ends up like sweeping down to the bottom of the field and somehow getting in range for a touchdown on very late in the drive.
Well, all of those downed elves can form their own cage somewhere on the southern half of the field if you don't protect it. So, which again, I don't think we're going to see Guru make that mistake.
Nope.
We're going to see Guru go hit some War Dancer.
Yeah. Not the War Dancer you want to hit, but still a good one. All right, so now he's got a stand firm tackle strength 4 piece marking the ball. If he can free up Garbers and put the diving tackle maybe 2 squares behind still, like to the right, so on column 10, that'd be a huge place to put it. Granted, with strength 4 War Dancer, you could probably leap through and blitz your way out, but it would still force a lot of dice.
Yeah, I think you'll see Devontae Adams just go back and take over that safety role here.
Yeah, I mean, what a luxury it must be. Like, not only do you have strength 4 stand firm tackle and a diving tackle and all these guard and some other pieces. Oh, if they happen to get by you, I have a strength 5 frenzy tackle piece with wrestle, just in case.
Yeah, wrestle tackle piece. Almost forcing him to leap out at this point.
Yeah. Yeah, leap out. You'll be safe from these guys and walk right into Devontae Adams.
Yeah. Or Devontae Adams.
Yeah. It is obviously super surprising that anyone, even Gru, can take a Simeon team and do this well with it. But it kind of warms my heart a little bit because I want Simeon to be good and interesting because the way they're built is so unique. If their linos were AV8 instead of AV7, I think it would be like a decent roster you could use. But the AV7 seems so detrimental. But he's making it work.
Well, and the NBFL is such a unique format with the draft and the high TV where you just get to draft block on all these gorillas and you get to draft some skills that they wouldn't normally get, and it makes them, I think, a better team when they have easy access to these skills. They don't need doubles. They don't need.
For sure. I mean, block and tackle are 2 skills that you wouldn't have normally on some of these players.
Yeah, absolutely worth the TV every time to get block. So,
not to mention you get your free, free 6 SPP on these bonobos.
Yeah, having another diving tackle.
Wow.
He does re-roll successfully, so he's out.
For now.
Yeah. Not safe, but he's out.
Yeah. All right, pretty good spacing by Baz here. You can see these three players that are your scoring threats right now are all spaced out by 2 squares. Devontae Adams can only frenzy block or blitz one of them, in theory.
Yeah, I think it's a pretty easy go hit the ward answer here.
Yeah. I mean, granted, if you hit the ward answer, you're leaving the agility 5 dodge player on his feet. Granted, I assume diving tackle is going to mark him again, but
yeah, and he's going to have to go for it to score, so he can't score next turn, right?
I don't think he wants to. But
no, but I mean, at some point when you're just out of players, you kind of. I think at this point, any score opportunity he's going to get, he's probably going to take.
I suppose we'd be remiss if we didn't mention the fact that there's a pretty good thrower on the bench for Grue. Aaron Jones, the movement 6 sidestep pass accurate dodge with naturally strong arms and extra arms. Strong extra arms, as it were. So yeah.
The kicker there though is no block, and you've got a tackle war dancer that's strength 4 that can just get back there. So it's going to be an interesting way to see how he plays that.
It's true, but my thought about having him here is like we're talking about Baz scoring soon, right? So if let's say Baz scores next turn because he has to, that gives Grue 3 turns. And normally you think of a team that has strength 4 players like Chaos, Nurgle, even Lizards, is a team that can't really 3-turn reliably. I mean, Lizards certainly are capable with their speed, but when you have a thrower who's basically an elf thrower just with like fur on his butt, it makes it a lot easier. And oh, by the way, all your players have extra arms, so your bonobos catch on a 2, your freaking gorillas catch on a 3.
Yeah,
I mean that's not bad either. Hell, the silverback, if he wasn't agility busted, would catch like on a 4.
Yeah, but you've got to think a quick score is going to come from the chimpanzees and movement 7. Strength 5 always help. But he didn't get the ward answer down, which is going to be now. I guess we're going to get to see if Baz is thinking about scoring here.
I'm surprised in that case he didn't use the strength 5 frenzy. Granted, he wants to keep him in the middle, and B, a both down would have resulted the same either way, but.
Yeah, I think that the key. Well, he would have wrestled him down, but the key there, I think, is he wanted the safety, and he really wanted the mighty blow. Mighty blow tackle word answer seems like a good idea.
Yeah, seems to be pretty advisable.
The strategy of hurt the elves is working so far. Why go with a new one?
Why go away from it? Yeah. All right, bring in Jair around, make it a little more difficult for Johnson to get out.
Yeah.
And Dutch has a point. We're probably not going into overtime with 13 combined rerolls like we did in the AFC Championship game. That was probably the craziest game I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, if you didn't go check that game out, man, that was a good one. And it 1-0 at the half with the rat still having a wizard, and the 1-turn possibility. I thought Baz would have a chance, but I didn't think it was a good one. And then. Yeah, I mean, you go score and good things happen.
Yeah, because you were with me for early part of that game, and then you had to go, if I recall. And
yeah, so, I mean, it was I think it was past midnight local, and it went to halftime. I was like, okay, I have to work tomorrow. This is not going to be fun.
Yeah. So tell me, what was your reaction like when you got up the next morning and saw that? Did you look at the match report? Did you see the chat, or what was your first clue that like something happened? I went straight
to the match report. I knew I wanted to see the result of that game because I knew I didn't know what it was.
Right.
So I immediately looked, and then when I saw 4-5, I was really surprised because I was thinking maybe 3-2.
Mm-hmm.
But when I saw 4-5, I was like, oh, some crazy stuff happened, and clearly you see 20 turns, and okay, there's some overtime.
Yes, sir. All right, Baz down to 1 reroll here, but he's got himself kind of wiggled around all the apes. Not that, they don't have a good chance to reposition here, but not a lot of contact at the bottom here, so Mr. Adams is going to have to pick a target, I imagine.
Yeah, I don't think. I mean, Baz is in much better shape, but I think you do let Devontae just go hit this forward answer now and Russell tackle him down, reposition, and there's not another scoring threat at least on turn 7.
I was
So
gonna say that's the only scoring threat. I mean, as Groot, you're assuming at this point you're probably not going to stop him. The ball is simply in a strength 4, agility 5, leaping blodger's hands. So unless there's like a really bad snake and you get a shot at him, the elves are probably going to score, and so you'd actually want him to score next turn. Not that Baz probably would. Well, yeah, there's no way he's gonna force Baz to score next turn most likely. So I guess you play for just the off chance that you get a weird chance to stop him.
yeah, you play for the 0-0 halftime score. And no, he did not use the Wandering Apothecary for the series injury. So he's still sitting on 2 Apos and a Wizard. So
It was a tough call, and it's a nice player, but it's just a
yeah,
nice
long
player.
way to go. He's bleeding players at that point.
Yeah, I mean that injury happened on what, turn 2?
I mean, and
Yeah, turn
honestly,
2.
the two war dancers he needs for this game. He doesn't need that catcher to win this game. He needs those 2 war dancers.
Yeah, if you're watching a game like this and you see someone use an apothecary on a KO and you're confused, it's not something that Baz specifically. I'm not sure what Gru's history with it is. I'm sure he's done it too, but they'll use an apothecary on a knockout to turn into a stun without blinking an eye. If
Yeah,
you need to, that's not an issue for them.
yeah. You are no longer playing for the next game. You're no longer playing for the team, long term team. This game is everything. This is the championship game.
Yeah, take
If your
all the
team gets
players if you win.
decimated, you come back with a new team next season as the champion. So
Exactly. Apparently, people are questioning whether they should have re-rolled the blitz on David Johnson. That's one of those aggressive re-rolls, and
no,
I don't.
he's got 4 left in 3 turns. So I mean, what are you going to use it for? I don't know what he's got planned with these last 4 guys. If he's just going to move them, he should have used the reroll. If he's
I would have moved them first and then maybe done the blitz. That way, if you need to re-roll it, you can. Because let's say you like re-roll into double skulls, and then like there's literally nobody over here, and the score is guaranteed. So I understand why you would want him to re-roll it, but that actually something like that cost me in my game earlier, to where I would have preferred to do something else, but I wanted to move players first, and so I left an opportunity for the opponent just so I gave myself more options in case I like failed the next move. But it's a tough call to make for sure.
this is going to be how many scoring threats can we get? And
Yep, get a sure hands over here. She'll be in scoring range and screen off the ball. Oh no.
oh no, there's never a good time for a snake eyes, but
No, and that's
this
definitely
should be
not one
3
of them.
dice on the ball.
Um,
No, not 3. 5.
no, you can't get 3 on a strength 4 player easily, at least. Um, wow.
But an easy 2 dice on the ball. We can agree on that.
Yeah, that seemed. I'm pretty confident in that at least.
And probably leave diving tackle on the. I mean, nobody's going to be in
No
position
one
to score.
else. Yeah, no one else
Right?
is in range technically. I mean, David Johnson's movement 8. You lose 3 on a stand up, so he's not in range either. 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2.
Just maybe you put the diving tackle on him and then go hit him.
Well, there's nowhere for Stan Jones to sidestep that would force a 1 die. So you might just go for the blitz Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, you got to be careful because you're knocked down right now. So
Yeah.
you
And frenzy.
you would GFI on the second block of frenzy. And so he opens the turn with the block with the big. Granted, a block strength 6 big and it was a 3-die block, and it frees up a gorilla. But wow.
So that you really don't have to worry about the sidestep now.
Well, here's our blitz pushes. So I mean, GFI here could be bad. I think you have to go forward. It's the only player you have in scoring range.
And then on the next one, no matter what, you're going.
You're going forward and just hoping.
Yeah, off the sideline, but still towards the end zone.
Yep. Oh.
You got to reroll. There we go.
Yep.
So you got to reroll that one.
Well, he did use a reroll, so if
Bar down here can score for the apes on a return.
well, that's an apothecary.
Yeah, that's an easy apo. Easy apo.
Also, I'm questioning why he went up, because even if you went, like, if you go down on the second block, you're not within range by going anywhere but forward whenever you were hit. Or did I just miss something?
I'm guessing he saw something with where the scatter might fall. I was thinking maybe it bounces to his AJ McCarron down there for preventing the score.
All right, so let's say worst comes to worst, for Baz at least, and the apes get the ball here and they score on the final turn and they go up 1-0. You're still not out of this game. You've got the wizard. You've still got just enough elves, probably.
Oh, yeah, he'll have 11 easy, including the important stuff.
Yeah. There was a bowl game a couple seasons ago. I think it was actually a championship game in the NCBB between Freshman's Rats, TCU, and Jim Fear's Slan, Miami of Ohio, where TCU got up 2-0 in the first half, and everybody thought the game was over. And to be fair, it could have been. If there's a couple different roles, it could have avalanched real quickly into an absolute blowout. But the Frogs stuck with it. They mucked up the game. They got the defensive score they needed. They got a score on offense. And they made it 2-2 late in the game. Eventually, the Rats did win, but even 2-0, if things break for you right, like, you're still in the game.
Yeah, and again, I mean, the elves are going to score. I mean, yeah, they go down 1-0, and even if it's a quick 2-0, the elves are going to score in 1 or 2 turns.
Clutch pickup by Mr. Garbers there.
Yeah, not a pass action. Not going to get the ball downfield before it's time. That's probably the right move.
Yeah, don't have the reroll. You've got 2 players in scoring range, so at best, he can only wrestle or block down one of them.
Yeah. Yeah, and the strip ball piece is off the field for the drive, so.
Yeah. Gonna have to do a 1-die here just to try to take it down. Alright. I mean, that's not insignificant. Crew's got to make a pickup roll now, and no one has sure hands.
Yeah, and AG5 guys next to diving tackle again. Doesn't matter.
Not this time. Chucking it downfield. Alright, good play by Baz there to maybe salvage this half. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Mr. Jair is in within range.
AG4 to make a pass.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6. GFI, and then he would probably throw back to. Well, if you're passing, you've got to hand off with the next move. So we want to get Flinger free, I guess, at the bottom of the kind of like line of players in the middle.
Well, I mean, the gorilla up top's not a horrible option if you free him up. It's a 3+ catch.
4, 5, 6.
Assuming you get the wrestle lineman down there on a 3-die block, which you should be able to do. A little bit easier throw, and then.
I think I would.
3+.
I think I would probably throw to Flinger at the bottom after freeing him up on a blitz with Adams because he's within range to hand off to Mr. Poohbar in all caps. So you got to say it loudly. But
That's just a long pass. I don't. 1, 2, 3, 4.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
It's gonna be a long.
If you throw it to Hot Pants, it's a worse catch, and then you have to GFI to hand off. So
yeah,
I mean it's close mathematically. I imagine. I don't actually do math when I play Blood Bowl for the most part.
Trying to think about that passing chart. I don't think about it enough because I hate passing in general.
I almost stole my NCBB game at the end with just an absolute bullshit play. I lost the ball and there's one turn left, and so I take a Saurus who's on the ground and run him into the end zone with a GFI. Then I take just a random skink with 3 SPPs, dodge through 2 tackle zones, pick up a ball in 2 tackle zones, dodge away again, and do a 6+ pass with a reroll, trying for a 5+ catch to win the game. And I rolled a 1 on the catch, but we'll see what Gru can do here.
Gru went with the option, which means it was clearly the correct option.
Well, when you roll like that, of course it's the right option.
Wow. Well done.
All right.
So we didn't re-roll the pass. The pass was a 4+. I imagine the other was a 5+. Maybe a 6.
We'll never know. We'll never know. And I suppose I didn't take into consideration that you could have just done an extra GFI to hand off to this player who wasn't in a tackle zone.
Yeah, I didn't see that.
Dodge.
I think I did. We both missed the obvious 1 extra GFI for the, easier handoff.
Yeah.
Clearly the right mathematical play.
Yeah, I guess that's the difference between, making the wildcard round and making the Super Bowl.
Right. That's why we were wildcard teams and they're in the Super Bowl.
Yes, sir.
And really, I mean, it is that when, those good coaches just don't miss things like that very often. It's usually.
No, I mean, obviously.
Not because they didn't see it.
Yeah, obviously you have to roll well enough to make that play, but seeing that play and then executing it, and that just separates, the different tiers of coaches.
So we do have all of the apes still healthy. We have most of the what else minus a couple of catchers.
I mean, if you came into this game expecting some of the apes to get injured, then you are cheering for the wrong team from the AFC, because that's just not what they do, really.
Yeah,
I think they had. Go ahead.
I typically go away occasionally, but
that's true. I think Baz had all of 2 casualties during the 7 games of the second half of the season, so it's not really his forte.
Something about backing everyone up and not throwing blocks to win the game doesn't get you a lot of casualties.
Yeah, imagine that. Gets you a lot of wins, though, apparently.
It also keeps all of your players healthy. I noticed coming in, not a single injury carried by the Elves. No niggling injuries, no stat downs, and no missed next games for the Elves.
Well, Jonathan Joseph's not going to break that streak. I imagine that player's going to get fired. And we get a blitz. Okay. Although, prophetically, almost Gru has a double stack defense for his offense.
To cover this blitz, because of course he is. Because that's, think about the things that can hurt you in a 1-0 game where you've got the lead.
It's true. It's one of those things we'll say during commentary. It's from the offense's perspective, what can literally lose you the game here? And setting up improperly for a blitz, which of course is unlikely, but if it does happen, your chances of losing the game double. Just straight up double. And Gru masterfully has what you would see on defense, this double stack, on offense.
Yeah. I mean, it's a leap. It's a 2+ leap and 2 GFIs for Stan Jones to go hit that orangutan before the ball comes down.
I mean, against most what you would call like bash teams that have strength 4 players, that makes sense because they're not great at picking up the ball. But apes are that rare team that anybody can really pick up the ball. So I'm not sure taking out his, primary carrier or thrower makes that much of a difference.
Well, and Baz may not have to go all out because he's always going to have strip ball on that player. And
Yep.
there's no sure hands. There's a lot of extra arms, but not a single sure hands on the rebay.
Sir, I believe it's pronounced green banana.
Green Baynana.
Something like that.
The Green Baynana Grabbers. Again, best logo in the
In the league?
Great.
For sure.
And I hate him so much.
Yeah. Yeah.
AD, if you're listening, we all need logos like that.
Elves are just not doing elfy things today.
No, they are failing a lot of dodges. That one wasn't even diving tackle.
All right, we still got a wizard though, and the elves are positioned to take advantage of any pickup mishaps or something like that.
And yeah, even on a blitz that's not great, it's still a blitz. You still got a nice positional advantage. Again, Baz, also not a bad coach. Did a lot of moving around before he failed that dodge to go through.
Mm-hmm. See, this is one of those weird things to where instinctively you're like, okay, I need to cover Pooh Bar with somebody. Because technically he's within range, and I'm definitely Garbers is within range. Most teams with a lino downfield like that, with a double GFI, would be a 3+ catch. This is a 2+ because of extra arms, so he's technically more than a distraction, really. But Garber's up there. He's an actual scoring threat.
I think if you're Baz, if you force him to go downfield, make a 2+ catch down there, you're happy to have him go score now. I would almost think you're going to ignore Pooh Bar. They go hit the chimpanzee. A niggled 87 is just asking to get hit in the face, right?
Yeah, that's a tempting target. I wouldn't do it though. He seems like a nice guy. Went to a reputable college.
No, I play that guy twice a year, and he is not a nice guy. He needs... I think he's a new player from this season.
Yes, he's the recent draftee from the first round.
Yeah.
I was kind of certain with agility 4, but diving tackle as his skill set. He may have had sidestep at the time too, since he's a former skink. That nobody would really pick him up because it's just kind of a weird fit on most teams. And so I was like, all right, he's going to fall to me in the second round. I'll take him as a frog blitzer. Diving tackle gets erased because I have that already. I get free plus agility. It's going to be great. And then Gru's like, no, I'm going to take that guy.
Yeah, it almost doesn't really matter how bad the skill set is. If you've got that agility on there, that's something that's going to help everybody.
That's true. Good spacing here by Gru, knowing that a fireball could be imminent at any time. So at best you're getting, what, 2? If you use Zap, it's a strength roll, so that should be a 3+. I think you save it.
It does.
Wait,
Wizard is always such a fun dynamic because if you're Gru now, you've got those scoring options that if he just ignores them, hey, 2-0, and the Wizard doesn't matter as much. You can play good defense.
Yeah. Stan Jones going for it. Maybe a slight miscalculation.
Ooh.
Oh, not when you roll like that.
The 2+ dodge. You forget about how easy that dodge is. No, that was a 3+ actually. There's 2 tackle zones he dove into for that.
Still.
Yeah.
to get the 2 die instead of the 1 die is worth it. It's not a play that a lot of coaches would see, perhaps, but sometimes seeing is believing. And right now, we gotta believe.
Yeah, who's he got left to pick it up?
He already moved the agility 5 at the bottom. He's moved the thrower. He does have old sure hands.
It's going to keep you from kind of sneaking through anywhere. Again, just really good positioning to have tackle and dodging tackle in spots where it's helpful.
For sure. I was going to say, if you 2-die here, he is a blodge stepper, but I mean, just roll pals, forehead.
Yeah.
But I think it's going to be tough to get through still. Because if he goes, well, I thought he would go down, and you would kind of block the path of sure hands to get in there without going through, like, a tackle from the other gorilla. So yeah, Veronica has a pretty good shot at it. But what do you do when you get there? Do you chuck it somewhere? Do you...
You have to get rid of it. You can't hang on to it.
If you wanted to hang on to it, you would have to go, like, pick it up in his square and then go up 1. You don't want to stand next to a gorilla, but he doesn't have tackle.
Yeah. Maybe just hand off to Stan Jones and...
That's not bad. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Yeah, I mean, Devontae Adams is a lot of great things, but he is an AG3 and he's in tackle zones right now. So
true.
And he would...
Not using the wizard is probably the right play, but also going for it and ignoring the threats downfield is also probably the right play for Baz. Also, you're getting the dice to work for you so far, which is helpful. But if he goes up 2-0, the game's mostly over. So if you go for the big swing and get it and can make it 1-1 without using the wizard, that'd be game-changing. So we'll see if Sure Hands can make another critical play. She's done that most of the season.
Not sure what he's looking at.
What's our final call? We're going to hand off to Stan Jones here?
I hand off to Stan Jones. I think that's...
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You've got plenty of movement.
2+ away from tackle without a reroll. You've used a reroll already.
He's going for the pass. Is it Le Punt? Oh, no. Just straight up pass the Stan Jones.
Why do a dodge and a handoff when you can just do a pass and a handoff?
I suppose, yeah. Oh, wow, that doesn't help.
They are not very dodgy elves today.
No, they're very much not so. But you did what you needed to do. You have the ball now. Didn't need the wizard to do it, and it's not going to be easy for Gru to get it back.
Ooh, that's gotta hurt.
And if you do go for a block with Chris with 3 S's because he was a lizard, and you don't take Sure Hands down, that's another guard player next to Stan Jones.
Yeah, the sidestep there is a killer. Oh, you have grab. Never mind. The sidestep's meaningless. You have a grab player, so you just go mark Ingram there. Make sure you don't even need to mark Ingram. You just get your 2 die on the Sure Hands, push her up, and then make your 1-9 dodge out and go hit the ball with Frenzy. Yeah, grab gives me fits. Originally, a couple of seasons ago, just had a ton of sidestep. And it's just worthless when you play these apes. It's just, I never get to use my skill.
That's why Stanford's better. But to answer Hyper's question in the chat, which was probably posted a while ago and I just missed it, he's asking what the delay between NCBB graduation and being in the NBFL draft is, and it just depends. And that's a huge knockout, potentially.
Thank you, Ape, of that one.
Oh, that's a tough call.
But, I mean, that's a knockout, and you've got to hope some touchdowns get scored here.
Yeah, at least one. But,
yeah, you really need a failed dodge or a couple of pushes here.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, yeah, I was trying to see if there's anybody who can go hit the ball other than Devontae, and I don't see it.
I mean, this is just a what, 4+ dodge with dodge? Oh yeah, you can go that way.
Yeah, 3+. It was 3+. So yeah.
All right. Big knockdown there, but a good scatter
Good
for the
scatter.
Rose.
I mean, the one spot it could have gone to for Baz, it goes to.
How did I not see him just dodging northwest?
I mean, it's still a 1-9 fail, so that's still just a risky. Not super risky, but it's more risky than,
dodging into the tackle zone like I was thinking.
Yeah, you better than the 75% chance.
I mean, agility 4 with extra arms, the odds of picking up this ball are not bad with Jair.
Yeah, I mean, that's a 3+ pickup, right?
Probably. Some bullshit, if you ask me.
And then what does he do with the ball?
Yeah, that's a good question. And then I guess you...
to it.
I was going to say, you can move Aaron Jones left, and then you can go, like, dodge out and hand off to him, but then Stan Jones would get him, or the fireball or something. So there's not a lot of great options, but I think picking up the ball is still better than leaving it on the ground. Well, that's nice, too.
Ooh, that's a dead. That's a dead elf. Everybody's favorite kind of elf.
Get him, Broadnecks. Nope. We're going to move Aaron Jones first.
Ooh, that's gotta hurt.
Yeah, just put that extra tackle on the ball before. He does get to pick up. He does get to dodge.
Who is he passing into?
I'm going to guess down the field to Fubar.
There's an interception chance. This could be over.
Go for it to make it not an interception chance, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
And I guess you don't even need a GFI. No one can get to him.
You just hang out. Oh,
okay,
no.
Well, he decides to go for it anyways.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, David Johnson could have gotten there. Could have leaped and gotten to it. So he did need the GFI.
Okay.
It's probably super safe where it's at.
Can you fireball the down chimp? Fireball does not hit prone players, unfortunately.
I don't think you can zap a down player either. I don't know. I'd have to check on that one.
I've never tried.
Who would zap a downed player?
Oh god.
Oh no. It's a 2+ with the reroll to go up 2-0. After
Brutal.
do you risk? Yeah, absolutely.
Brutal
You risk. You don't have to. It's just. Do you want to stall an extra turn now? Do you want to go make a block on McCarron?
Kind of. I mean,
And just wait one more turn. Go ahead and stand up, Poobar.
I mean, Aaron Glenn could maybe make a play, but okay, we'll take Garbers and mark Aaron Glenn after you blitz McCarron.
He may not be blitzing McCarron. That's, or at least who's he? Is there a tackle piece in range that I can't see?
Not really. Devin Still back there has tackle. Devonta Adams has tackle, but neither are really close to where we want to be.
I don't think you risk a dodge.
Okay, let's just break tackle with Broadnecks and go 3-die something, because what's the worst that could happen, right?
What should be your play? No, he's just going to pick. He didn't make no blocks. No blitz.
Nope. But when you needed your reroll to get that pickup, maybe it was the right call. Now, Veronica Surehands does come back, so this game is not over. There's still 11 elves. You still have a wizard. You get a score here. You go back on defense, use your wizard, you get a turnover, make it 2-2. I mean, we could be in for overtime. We may not even need overtime.
Yeah, I mean, the elves are just going to have to start making a dodge or two. I mean, they just seemingly failed everything when they've moved away.
Yeah. Malcor apparently taking a vacation till draft day. Allegedly a month or so from now, but until I see the draft board from Arcane, I will not believe it.
Yeah, I think everybody not in this game is ready for the draft.
I think Baz might be ready for the draft too.
Baz is one half closer to ready for the draft.
He's like, I'm going to draft some fuckers who can actually dodge. Just,
I think Asti is the other person who's not ready because, as soon as this game ends, he's no longer the defending champ. So
it's true.
We just throw that barb in there real quick.
I think I already changed his status. I had him as a different color and different role in the NCBB chat, labeled as the NBFL champ, but no longer. Also, I'm pretty sure there's 12 apes on the field. Okay.
Yeah. Well, everything's been going your way. So we'll try to get away with one more.
Yeah. See, and this is where people like, man, look at this Gru guy. Like, everything's going his way, but he has to, cheat to do it. It's just... Yeah.
Yeah, this guy's no good at this game. He doesn't even know how many guys he can put on the field.
Yeah, he's only about to potentially win his 7th Super Bowl.
Yeah, so this is going to be, if he wins, and this game is not over. Baz may try to one turn here.
Maybe.
He's at least going to go for a 2, you would think.
That'd be ideal. I'm trying to think of any coaches. Does anyone have more than 2 besides Gru? Like, maybe Rel, because Rel's won some with different teams. I think he's won with, Vamps, Norse, and Humans? So he may have 3.
I say he's won 3, but I honestly don't know. Certainly.
They're listed on the group page, but it says the team, not the coach, and I don't want to flip through 25 of them right now. But I'm pretty sure Rel is 3. But beyond that...
Yeah, Gark is saying Rel has 3. So.
Okay. Does anyone else even have 2? Stim might have 2, actually, now that I think about it. Regardless, basically Gru's out in front of everybody by a lot.
Yeah.
We'll just say that.
Out in front of everybody with teams that shouldn't be able to do what he's doing. I mean, he's site-wide famous for how good he is with the slam. With the Simeon win is going to be a nice feather in the cap if he can pull this out. And perfect defense is certainly going to help.
Yeah, we thought last season Asti winning with rookie Norris was an accomplishment, and Gru's like, try a difficult race.
Yeah. Give me a second.
Alright, so if we're Baz here, it's not going to be easy with this perfect defense, but it's also apparently spreading Gru out a little bit. So our goal is to break through with hopefully 3 scoring threats, maybe score next turn. Don't use the wizard. Like, under any circumstances, you have to have that for defense. And
what's more important here? I don't know about that because I think scoring in 2 turns is probably more important than saving the wizard.
Yeah, right as I said it, I started to doubt myself.
You've got strip ball, which can get the ball free from just about anybody.
It's true. Right as I said that, I was like, wait, does he have to? Because Stan Jones is there.
Yeah.
But it sounded smart when I said it.
It's not a bad idea. It wouldn't be. I mean, saving the wizard obviously for defense is ideal, but.
All right, Dutch doing some sideline reporting. Rel has 3, Azure and Stim have 2, Gru has lots. So I think we all knew that one, though. Stan Jones blitzing a gap through for the elves, perhaps. Almost stumbling on the way out, but if we get a knockdown here, that's huge. Then you follow, you got a nice little gap. I mean, we still have, both chimpanzees back here. But if you give yourself 3 credible scoring threats, He can mark one with diving tackle. He can blitz one with Devontae. But unless he gets hot prints on sure hands, which honestly you're not even worried about, like diving tackle versus AG5 dodge. Like the math says you should make that dodge, but the math also said the elves wouldn't have failed all their dodges so far anyway. So who knows?
I mean, also, if apes in the way can intercept a ball pretty easily with extra arms. So
it's true. It's second only to perhaps the old Slan in interception chance.
they don't have the very long legs to help, but the extra arms helps too.
And if anyone, for whatever reason, wanted to have pass block players, TCU has 2 in the pipeline coming to the draft. For some reason, like freshman keeps making pass block gutter runners, and it doesn't make a lot of sense.
2020 when it gets to be on the ball and a good skill.
That's true. I'm actually excited for that for Chameleon Skinks. That's gonna be a nice little buff for those little guys.
It is. It makes them fun for sure. Having played a little bit with them, it's interesting because unlike pass block, they can move anytime they throw, and they don't have to be able to interfere. So they can just really get around if somebody's throwing the ball around.
It's been surprisingly useful at times for me. I know it saved my bacon in a game versus Crichton in Oregon a couple seasons ago. Literally made the difference between the guy catching the ball and not catching the ball, and then I was able to get a score off of it. So when it works, it's nice. All right, a couple decisions to be made for Gru here. Take your obligatory 2-die block.
Breaking out was always a good first step.
Probably send one of the 2 players from up top downfield into Baz's side to pressure McCarron.
Yeah.
He has dodge, but no block, so not super difficult to get it out.
And that is an AG4 lineman, so it's an actual threat. You can't just go mark him and think you're going to be okay. But I think, Baz is going to score here, or at least, if he doesn't score, it's because he didn't roll well enough. It's not going to be because he didn't try.
Yeah. Looks like we're probably 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They actually double mark these with hot pants, which is pretty convenient, having diving tackle on both. And you can blitz Stan Jones, for example, dodge out Garbers, tag up David Johnson, send someone else downfield after McCarron, and I think it's pretty solid defense.
Yeah, sorry, your AG4 strength 5 guys getting 2-die block with no assist here.
Yeah, like perhaps the only player in the league who can do that.
But he's 1 GFI away from the end zone. He wanted to throw to him, but you've still got David Johnson, who is going to be marked, but there's just lots of scoring threats that aren't too bad.
No, I was looking for the AG5 Lino too, because that's somebody you could potentially throw to and then have him dodge out and hand off.
Yeah, he's
Doesn't look like we're getting the foul action, despite the fact that there was a stomp emote, and when someone does that, you have to, have to do it.
Gru just doesn't understand good etiquette and doesn't understand. You have to give the fans what they want.
Exactly. I mean, there's 20 of them here.
Yeah. And, kudos to the crowd. This is a good crowd. People turned out for this one. It's almost like you advertised it.
Just a little bit.
Yeah. And this is, if somebody's catching this on Twitch, this is the premier North American league on mobile for sure. So.
Whoa. That's a little biased.
Yeah.
But he's right.
It's a lot biased, but that's taking away from the fact that it's true.
I can't say I know the other North American leagues too well. I've just played in 2, NCB and NBFL. I did play in SLA for a while, but I don't have time for 3. I've done the Northern Waste League for a season or 2. I don't know what else. Looks like we're going with old Sure Hands. That's a huge POW, by the way. Oh, God.
Oh, wow.
Well, there goes something.
Oh, no.
Oh.
Okay.
I would assume you're just throwing... Oh, he's going to... He's not going to Sure Hands. He's going to Lawson. All right.
He's going to go...
So, the Houston Treants are on the board. It is only 1-2 in favor of the Grabbers, but at what cost? You're down to 1 reroll on turn 4 of the second half. Not exactly how you drew it up. So,
well, I mean, if he does use the wizard and get the ball and score, I mean, that's, Gru has 2 rerolls for overtime, so overtime could be really interesting.
That's true. I didn't realize he only has 2. Not quite the AFC Championship game.
Okay. With the wizard being back, the people were a lot more TV efficient this season. Seasons past.
It's true. I mean, Baynana is not really following that rule per se. He's at 25-10 while missing a gorilla. Yeah. So he's been kind of chonky. Somebody's not doing their job. Dash. But
I only fouled Devontae Adams so many times. I think I fouled every time we play. I think I do get that guy down and I remove him, but it's usually just not good enough. So it's not for lack of trying.
Well, that's fair. But no, for the most part, you're right. Rel, the 1 seed in the AFC, low TV Skaven. Baz, 2nd seed in the AFC, low TV Wood Elves. Asti was the 5 seed because of divisional setup, but low TV Norse. Trying to think of the NFC. I mean, Nelfiend generally has relatively low lizards, like 2,300. Jaemon on the other side usually has higher lizards of like 25, 26. But no, definitely a lot of teams that are using the low TV and the inducements have done pretty well.
Yeah, I think I mean last season going in, I declared the Age of Bloat dead with the wizard back, and you had my Torps versus the Norse in a pretty low TV matchup for the Super Bowl last year.
Yeah, I mean your Chaos Dwarves have been pretty low TV for a long time. Doesn't help when. Go ahead.
Yeah, just hover around 2,000 because the big guy is absolutely not good for the team. So.
No, he's fucking awful. It also doesn't help when ye old Stoneface got killed early on.
Yeah, I can't seem to keep 2 good bulls through a season, so I do like the ones I have now, though. Like them both. So it's going to be an interesting draft for me. What I replace. So.
Oh, you also lost Big Ben. That's right.
I lost Big Ben this season.
So was Stoneface last season then?
Yeah, Stoneface was last season.
Okay.
So. So he doesn't have his super aggressive prevent the blitz setup that he had last time. Maybe.
I mean, what are the odds he gets another blitz, right? That can't happen. Probably. Kazark in the game chat saying he being Gru can just play keep away, but I'm not sure if that's totally accurate with the wizard being there. And like you said, Stan Jones can take the ball away from anybody.
This could be an interesting scatter.
Okay.
Nope.
All right, so let's start our turn with a broad next block. I think that makes the most sense.
Yeah, you always start with the big guy, right? That's just good blood bowl.
Yeah, that's what Korn taught me, if anything.
Just a nice war. Remind everybody he's there.
Yeah. I know his pixel's like obviously larger character than the bonobos and even the gorillas, but for Devontae Adams, for example, when he's plus strength twice over, it feels like his pixel needs to like get bigger and to be more accurate, you know?
Just get swole.
Yeah. Like, Broadnax should be even bigger than a regular silverback.
Luckily, you can mark players that fumble, and when I play, I just write "kill" across that guy. And
Yeah, Dutch, I wouldn't recommend playing Khemri. Like, what else? It generally doesn't work out. Not that I know much about Khemri, but there are leagues that do custom icons, and so you can do different color schemes or different pixels for stuff. So there was a league that was like a draft league where if you had a plus strength blitzer, uh, his pixel would be larger than the normal blitzer. So that was kind of cool. I forget which one it was, but stuff like that's very very cool and thematic. It's just hard to do across a big league. DLA. It might have been DLE. I'm not sure I did DLA. I forget. I guess I would have done A because that's America, but regardless.
just to Gru is being super aggressive here. He's not going to turtle up back in the back like I kind of thought maybe he would do. He's not trying to build a slow cage. It looks like he's trying to go up 3-1.
I think the big thing too is you want to spread the elves out. They're not really built to stop you if they're not sacking you. So if he being Baz has to commit, 2 to 3 pieces in the backfield, that just makes pressing through and getting through with a player that much easier. Because Stan Jones,
he's got to keep Devontae back here because of the wizard. Like a zap can really kill him if nobody's back there to pick up the ball.
For sure. But Stan Jones, as great as he is, can only be in one place. Like, he can't be sacking Aaron Jones in the backfield and covering people on the Houston logo. So he's gonna have to make some decisions. That's a little farther forward than we thought he'd be, right?
No, I mean, well, he's staying where he can go pick up the ball if there's a zap. That's the
true. All right, there's no apes in scoring range technically, so Baz is waiting another turn for the wizard, perhaps, but you've got to get some pressure into the backfield somehow, some way. In gaming terms, we would say he has to press W.
Keep moving forward. Keep moving forward.
If we blitz, we can blitz here too. Oh, Pooh Bar, the hero perhaps of Green Banana. Do we mark Adams with Stan Jones? Do we tempt fate?
Well, I was thinking maybe you go try to screen him off from the ball and at least threaten zap or use zap even, but
okay. Mark with
maybe
Shaq.
way out. That's a horrible idea. So.
Send Glenn. Setting up the zap. I'll never forget a game I had my first season with Frogs. I was playing against Gark, and he left a Dark Elf runner like all the way back here by himself. Like, not a soul on his side of the field. And I went for the zap, and if I got it, it would have changed the game. I would have picked it up, and I would have won easily. And then I rolled a 1, and
yeah.
So,
of course,
nothing.
So, yeah, you've got Stan Jones back to play safety and strip ball.
Yep, we saw a pretty spectacular fireball fail in the AFC Championship game, but you'll have to watch the replay to see exactly what happened.
Yeah, which made, Baz's, score fest, come from behind win even more impressive because it wasn't just I got a couple of blitzes and the wizard did what it was supposed to.
It was the Rats who had a wizard. Like, the only team that Baz could possibly give up inducements to this season. But, alright. So if we're Gru, what's our play here? We don't really want to make a cage, but we can't score. I think we target... Oh no, Devontae Adams is tied up. Do we make like... a large cage / screen kind of on our logo, because we have a gap at the bottom to get all 4 of these players over here if we want to. I don't think we want to advance at the bottom because we've got Stan Jones lurking in the middle and a wizard still, so you can't make a sideline cage. You only have 4 players, so you can't do like a big screen. Setting up a 3 dice, smart.
Yeah, go hit this guy, take care of this threat, and then make a cage down here.
Okay, our gratuitous scoring option. But I'm still worried, like, where are we putting this ball where it's going to be safe? Like, you can't just, like, run down, because I think... Can Glenn get there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Maybe you can just, like, run, like, really far down to the bottom here. As long as you take down Shaq Lawson.
Yeah, you can free up one of these guys here.
So we're going to free up our diving tackle.
You're going to free up the diving tackle.
I mean, we could break tackle with, like, 2 of these players if we wanted to.
Yeah.
Alright, free up Hot Pants. It's been very important this game. Alright, 1, 2, 3. You're far enough away from Stan Jones to where you're probably safe, and this actually kind of works out. Now you've got tackle on both those players, not that Lino is dodge.
So the fireball is a real consideration here now, because if you get...
Yeah, I think you have to. You've got 3 players in range, including the ball. Okay, Aaron Jones is down. And the crowd roars. And the gorilla's down. Sure, Hands can just walk over there, assuming diving tackle doesn't strike for like the 8th time today, and pick it up.
Yeah, it's the AG5 though. I mean, you can get now.
You can get Stan Jones over there, although it doesn't help.
We can get Aaron Glenn to dodge into the end zone and just go throw it to him.
It's true. Do we want to, though? Do we want to try to stall it out? Also, he took diving tackle off of Sure Hands. He could have sidestepped down, right?
Yeah. Curious.
Well, maybe Gru's thinking that I don't want Baz to be able to stall and then lose the coin toss and overtime and just lose 3-2. I want Baz to score this turn and give myself 2 turns against no wizard and win this game right now.
I mean,
he doesn't have to score.
I don't see how you stall this out. I think you gotta go score.
Yeah, like it's easy to think like, oh, Lawson's tagging Adams, so he's not gonna be able to like dodge away and take down Aaron Glenn if we post Aaron Glenn with the ball like column 2. He's still agility 3 dodge. Like that's not insignificant.
He's not going to score.
He's not indeed. All right, well, we'll see what happens. Oh God.
Oh.
Well, there goes our last reroll, which I know he's not thrilled about, but can't do nothing about that now.
Well, I mean, Alexander there is the only one who can go hit the ball, though.
Okay. This looks better. Really, really wish Baz, from his point of view, didn't have to use that last reroll, but considering that you're about to lose the game, I mean, this situation at the end of the turn looks pretty decent.
And then he had to go for it there to stay out of range of getting hit from gorillas and other nasty things. You've got Garbers who can get over there still.
Yeah, he does have wrestle, doesn't have tackle, but and he'd have to dodge through 2 tacklers.
Yeah, at least 1 3+. But you can go 3+ without tackle, right? Yeah, you can. I think that's going to be the play, is to go get the ball with Garbers.
I think an Alexander, 3, 2, then a 2 die, but
I think you want the wrestle.
yeah, but getting there is just so much harder. Decisions.
2+, 3+, 2+ with a reroll on this second one. So you could actually reroll them. Reroll the first one with the team reroll if you needed to.
I don't think you need to use a reroll on this turn. Like, as much as you don't really want to go to overtime, I think the odds of getting the ball down here are relatively low. Unless it's Garber, of course. But I think if you try something here, then don't reroll it.
I think getting the ball out's not too bad of an option, but it's just what do you do with it once it's out? Picking it up and getting it safe is going to be a whole different problem. Oh, I'm sitting here thinking about how's he going to free him up, and I forgot he could. No, he blitzed out. What?
He blitzed so he could grab the sidestepper and then tag sure hands with diving tackle. A smart move, like safe move, but we've seen diving tackle work a couple times today.
I think he's just going to get blocked away. So, I mean, it's the problem with Russell is it's not too hard to get him down. It's an easy blitz for David Johnson to go over there and knock him free. Of course, there are no more easy plays because there's rerolls. Yeah. No rerolls.
No reroll.
Whatever he's good.
David Johnson's marked by tackle. And he is a sidestepper. So I think just the dodges make more sense. Like diving tackle versus agility 5 doesn't worry me that much.
Well, the first dodge would be into tackle zones too. So what is that? That's a scary dodge to me.
Well, David Johnson, the 2+ still scares me too.
Yeah. Like I said, he's going to have to roll some dice.
Yeah. Well, let's see what the end of turn scenario looks like. Like, let's not all like jump on XCOM real quick. Pass. I mean, we could take Aaron Glenn and put him in the end zone and just like pass over everything, but
well, the dodge just got real hard now.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, really, you just go out the other way and around. You've got enough movement.
You're fast enough. Yeah.
It doesn't change much, actually. It looks more threatening, but
yeah, now the blitz actually probably makes less sense, so we're gonna have to just dodge most likely.
No, you can still dodge backwards to that 4 column and then just go around. There's really not a threat here from that extra bonobo. He's not.
Well, it definitely takes the blitz option away. Well, it doesn't. I guess you could still come in and blitz Garbers off.
Yeah, it's still.
You want to blitz? Who are you blitzing through, Wog? Or are you saying come over with Johnson? But who are we ball blitzing?
He's blitzing out with the ball. He's going to uphill blitz with no rerolls. That sounds like a terrible idea.
Well, maybe there's a reason Wog is picking in the top 15 of the draft.
Yeah, if you're gonna dodge out to give assist, you might as well dodge out to go hit the guy. You just go mark him right now with Scarlet, and then go blitz him with David Johnson, and then.
Well, you don't even need an assist for Johnson because you have guard on the ball carrier.
Oh yeah, the ball has guard. I wasn't even looking at the guard.
Yeah. So if we're gonna do anything, we're gonna take Johnson, dodge out, blitz Garbers, and then.
Well, you can actually you can make sure the diving tackle is no longer on the ball with sidestep because you can.
If you move Scarlet
You can move
left
Scarlet.
of Garbers and then blitz from the bottom left, for example, yeah, it's not bad.
Well,
Well, no, he could sidestep forward. Well,
yeah, but I mean, you just go out the back and you're going around anyway. That's not a bad. That's an easy. I think I'm going to say I found an easy play. It's an easy score. As we'll see in a second. Yeah, no rerolls. You got to get rid of that diving tackle. I think
well, diving tackle, like you have
Because you're moving
dodge to negate it essentially.
Yeah.
So even if you fail the first roll, you get dodge to come back around. He doesn't have tackle. So, God, this is a close call. Does anyone like do Blood Bowl math real quick? Like, what's the 2+ dodge and then a tackle blitz against the wrestle lodge step with the like just dodge out? Oh God, I don't like this at all. This is too difficult.
I don't know what the math is, but I think Baza is trying to do it right now.
Yeah.
I'm glad I'm not having to do it during the game.
I'm not sure what Condor's referring to. Gru's a pretty good chap to play against.
Yeah, I mean,
Okay, that works.
wrestle him down, and yeah, you just
one dodge and walk around.
easy score.
See, like that was so easy. Why did we take like 5 minutes to think about it? Just make your rolls.
Well, make sure sidestep can get you there.
All right, so we've come a long way, but it is now 2-2. The comeback is partially complete. I guess it's not all the way done until you come back and win the game, but it is 2-2. Houston's come back from 0-2 down. No rerolls left, unfortunately. Wizard was used, but
Yeah,
you're not out of it.
10 L's. They've got a chance to get one more back in overtime.
And you do have an apothecary still.
Yeah, you've got an apothecary to save a KO. Aaron Jones is out, so
True.
um,
Now, Gru with apes can definitely potentially one turn. If Baz does his triple sidestep lineup, though, it'll be. Does he have 3 sidestep or 2? He's got 3. Oh, do you want to put
grab though that makes it not as.
That's true. Grab. Oh my God, why are apes just so weird?
Yeah, I mean he's got 4 grab players he can put to do all the pushing he needs to do for these sidestep players.
He's got movement 7 on both chimps, and you've got Garbers who's agility 4 with dodge, if I recall.
Yeah, 7 is going to be pretty hard to do.
It's true, and you don't have frenzy. No, you do have frenzy. Adams. Oh my God, he's got all the tools he needs.
Well, you've got because I'm assuming another sidestep is going to go on the line, so you're going to have to push around 3 sidestep players. So that frenzy player is probably.
Not
Well, no,
significant.
because late you'll have him surrounded, or even early you can have him surrounded.
Yeah, if you just like, well, you can't grab him into you because of sidestep.
You have to blitz him into the pile.
Yeah. You can also just like knock down the other 2 players, which for the longest time, like I just ignored as a possibility. It's like, oh, I've got to, work around them and no, just like knock their ass down.
Yeah, the other option is just kill all the sidestep players on the line and hope you get the ball in overtime and there's 3 less sidestep players to worry about.
Well, no, like you can knock down 2 of the sidestep players and then work the other one in with your grab and your frenzy. But for the longest time, I was trying to like ignore the other 2 players, and like it doesn't make any sense. Just give him a good bonk real quick.
Yeah, well, he's going to go 3 sidestep.
Yeah, that's the right call. You have an apothecary. Even if you didn't have the apothecary, like you have to not lose the game on this turn. So Yeah. Even if it costs you Veronica or the other war dancer, David Johnson.
David Johnson. I would think if it gets to a point where the one turn doesn't look likely, though, that David Johnson is going to get, we're going to see Rue foul here. That would be.
It makes a lot of sense. Although
14
I
guys.
think you would foul Veronica before you foul David, though, right? Agility 5, movement 9. Like, that's Baz's, like, best one-turn option. Not to mention his best, maybe second best scoring threat.
I gotta think if you, I don't know. I think I get the Warden answer because I'm more worried about. I think if Baz gets the coin toss and gets the ball, it doesn't matter which elves are gone, he's going to score. It's going to be really hard to stop Baz from scoring.
That's fair.
If he gets the ball, because he's going to have 10 elves probably.
Oh, Gru.
Yeah.
All right. Well, one way or another, we're in for an exciting finish.
So, and again, just a great comeback by Baz in the UFC Championship game. This would be another great comeback to win it all.
For sure. I mean, being down 0-2 is so demoralizing, but if you can stick it out, it's not impossible. We've seen that. Well, it's not that Gru doesn't deserve to win either. Gark.
Played really well. We haven't seen anybody do something where it's like, oh my god, how come we didn't see that? Which is, what you expect when you get to the two good coaches. Much better than last year when two guys lucked their way in. But
Condor asking the same question that we were just talking about.
Yeah, and I think I'm going to continue to make the argument that you found the war dancer. So that's the guy on defense that I want to stop.
I'm not sure there's like a wrong answer. I'm sure one of the two is like slightly better in the macro view, but
well, and
real question is, do you actually like remove them, or do you just like kick some dirt on them? That's the important question.
I'm just rooting for Bobo to come off the bench and just stick a boot in somebody. Stick his little peaceful bonobo foot where he counts.
Baz really taking his time with this setup. It's also awkward having 10 players and not 11 because, like, for example, this is from what I understand, more of like a typical NAF setup where you would have another guy up top here to complete it. But since you don't, I think the backline defense is better, but we'll see. I mean, it's still really tough with the triple sidestep.
Yeah. Well, let's see. Sidestep shouldn't. He's got enough grab to.
Almost any other team in the league, we'd like look at this and be like, "There's no point of even like trying." But apparently, who knew Simeon was the one race that in NBFL Super Bowl 26 would be the perfect team to try to one turn to win the game.
Yeah, the only team that could do it against this sidestep line, right? Even without the sidestep, even without all the grab, I mean, one turn with movement 7 is always going to be really hard.
Yeah, and with the triple sidestep, you force him to use grab on those players or box one of them in for your frenzy, or basically you force him to do a bunch of things right. And if he does any of them wrong with movement 7, he may not be able to do it. And so you just make it as hard as possible.
Yeah.
I lost a Fumble Cup game a year or two ago. Like, I don't ever do majors, so I entered like a rookie Norse team for a joke, and my first round matchup went to turn 16, and this guy did an unlikely but successful one turn, and in hindsight, I could have put the Ulfin where or whatever. The setup was fine. I had 3 line of scrimmage and the whole back line covered, but you need to make it as tough as possible. So I could have put strength 4 up there, done just slightly different to make it even tougher. But you learn those lessons the hard way. All right, now the Baz took.
Setup should tell us whether we're just going to punch a bunch of elves and get to overtime, if we're going to make an honest try at it. Look, I think we're going to make a try.
Yeah, there's almost no reason not to.
Yeah.
All right, so from early look, preliminary, pardon me, preliminary look, we're going to take Hot Pants, blitz Aaron Glenn from the north, his northwest, so column 11, push him down into Devon Still, and then Frenzy follow up with Adams afterwards. But who are we pushing? We're pushing Garbers. So do we want to push Still? Wait,
Yeah,
what are we doing here?
It's going to go ahead and move the ball. Yeah, you're going to have to push some blockers down field.
Okay, this makes more sense. So we're pushing him, being Glenn, into Garbers, sidestepping into this gap on his side. And then you should have a full surround for Adams to follow up for at least one push. Well, I guess we'll find out. I did actually pull off a successful one turn earlier in my NCBB game with Lizards. Got a nice quick snap and got a bunch of pushes, a 5+ catch in a tackle zone, and a couple dodges, and it was all good.
It's always rewarding when you make one of those, 5+ catches or something that's it should be over at that point, but it's not. Just makes it.
And you're like, oh, the hard part's done. Let's not mess up the rest of this.
Yeah, that's when you fail to go for it.
Fail to go for it, yeah.
Not even the first go for it. I mean, not even the second go for it. The first one.
Exactly.
You do not use a reroll to make it work.
No, unless you're like, unless the player is like gotten pushed into scoring range and you're rerolling a dodge or a GFI. But if you're yeah.
Maybe the last push. Maybe if it's the last push you need to get him in scoring range and he's got the ball.
Oh god, that would be such a decision.
Yeah, I think you.
I don't think I would.
I mean,
but
yeah,
man,
2+2+ to is all you're going to have left. I think you definitely use a reroll. But likely it'll be a dodge out as well. So. This maybe we're just going to hit people again. Yeah, I think we've decided we're just going to hope for a riot, and if we don't get a riot, we're going to hit people and try to remove 3 elves and have them not there for the second half.
It's not the worst plan I've ever heard of, but I would have really liked to see a one-turn attempt here.
Yeah, I think he probably is even setting it up, realizing that he's going to need to push a lot of those gorillas up the field somehow, and then. It's going to be tough with the sidestep. But I think he probably worked it through and found out that it was...
Well, and then we roll perfect defense.
So now you're going to see these good players get far, far away from the line.
Yep.
And some scrubs come up and take their place.
Now, to be fair, Baz only has 10, with half a player potentially coming back.
Yeah. That's 3 rookie liners on the...
If you lose 2 of them, though, and then you go on defense, to start overtime. It's gonna be really tough.
Yeah, I still say Bono is throwing a boot in somebody right here. That's
You have 3 reserves as your grew. Yeah, I don't see why you wouldn't try to get a +1 going.
guy's gonna have a very bad day. I think.
Yeah,
See a boot marking from his future.
I don't care how much money they're paying me. I would not sign up to be a lineman in a Blood Bowl league. I mean, 70,000 for like these Wood Elf Linos, like that's more than I make. A lot more than I make. Still not worth it.
What is? Yes. I guess the elves do have a turn 8. I don't know what the elves are going to do with the turn 8, but they do technically have a turn 8. So
Not doing much. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Technically, David Johnson can blitz Grunabo, the other orangutan, but you'd have to do a GFI and get an assist, so I'm not sure it's...
yeah, you're not doing that with the rerolls.
Yeah. I guess if you're Baz, if someone gets removed here, you auto Apothecary. Because Apothecarying someone in overtime...
Oh, Snake Eyes.
Snake Eyes.
Doesn't even matter. You can't break the armor 7 with 4 assists.
Unfortunate. But yeah, even if you have the Apothecary in overtime, like, putting the player back on the bench instead of, like, the KO box doesn't do any good, so... Alright, we're in overtime for what seems like the 10th time in this playoffs.
And Houston gets the ball with 11 elves.
Oh, goodness. Tails never fails. Never forget that, folks.
I'm going to grab another drink for overtime before it's over because I think it may be quick.
One would think. One would think. 11 elves, no rerolls, but they have the ball. If you told Baz back in the first half when he went down 2-0, although that may have been the second half, I don't remember at this point, that he could get a chance to win the Super Bowl with 11 elves at the start of overtime with the ball and no rerolls, I think he would take that.
Yeah, I mean, I think Baz is super excited about where this game is versus where it was. I mean, no rerolls is bad, but
it's better than losing.
It's all 2 pluses from here, right? That's,
yeah. Just roll 6s.
Of course, the way he was dodging in the first half, if he dodges like this, it's going to be...
Yeah, that wouldn't help you very much. All right, if you're Gru here, where do you want to put your resources? We want to block the sidelines, so we're putting our gorillas there. You want Adams in the middle.
Yeah, I think that's good. You've got a sidestep gorilla at the bottom, so you're not going to want to go there.
All right, so if we're Baz...
Yeah, if you're Baz, I think you're going through those 2 bonobos at the top. You're going through Bobo and Alexander up top.
But how? You only get to hit one of them. Yeah, I think McPain makes a lot of sense. He's a blodger, but you have a strength 4 tackler that you just hope can take him down. As much as I love McPain, he was a great source for me, but...
I mean, yeah, he doesn't have to do this in 2 turns, and he can really get a lot of distance between him and those gorillas down there. You know, all of the strengths of the apes is at the bottom of the field right now.
Yeah, I mean, this may be the actual perfect time for that old Baz Dacostine offense. Draw them back, wait for a gap, and get right through it. Quick snap, okay. We get a potential catch from Johnson. We get a free no dodge from Scarlet. Hey, Kazark, playing with fire perhaps, but you never know. Some like it hot. That's what they say. Right? People say that?
Some people say that.
Some people say that. Okay. All right.
Other people say fire bad.
Yeah. Right. Fire bad, but Stan Jones good.
Now he's gonna go through McPain. So. Oh, big
big
KO.
knockout.
Apo this one? Yeah.
Use an Apo. May not matter, but this is exactly what Bad's needed.
I mean, a stun there is still big. That's
huge.
He gets a little while of not worrying about that guy at all.
Take Lawson, go tag Adams, move Stan Jones 2 more forward. You get Mr. Nick Martin down there to tag Hot Pants.
No, I was gonna say maybe. Man, there's the no rerolls. Like, oh, go for it to go get.
Nope. Nope.
That's a bad idea. Anything that involves a dice roll is a horrible idea. So.
Yeah. Anything involving the one method of playing this game is bad.
I mean, I think Lawson has to go tag Adams for sure. I think you have to make him dodge away if he's going to do something.
Yeah, tag Adams. We're going to hand over to Veronica first. Or not.
Yeah, I think you give the ball to Aaron Glenn, and then you set up a cage with sure hands and Stan Jones there.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Interesting, not tagging Adams. And there's kind of a gap in between Lawson and Jones. And we're moving. So we better not fail this handoff, and it scatters weird.
It's 2+ catch with the reroll. You don't need a team reroll for that one. But yeah, Snake Eyes is devastating here, obviously. Always devastating, but yeah, he's gonna give it to Glenn here.
Oh.
Yeah. Just every dice roll is fun to watch, but he's gonna sideline cage here.
Yep, that makes a lot of sense. This it's not over, but it's tough. And then I guess we tag Broadnax, make him use break tackle if he wanted to do anything fancy, which he probably won't, but then you try to dodge through and tag Garpers, I guess?
Yeah, I mean, he's got too many. You're not going to break tackle. There's too many things to go through to get near the ball.
All right, well, that didn't work, but still, this looks really, really favorable for the Elves here.
Yeah, I mean, maybe just blitz Stan Jones with Devontae Adams.
I mean, it is just an agility 4 catcher, nothing special.
Yeah, and then go tag him with diving tackle again, and that's
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, I mean, you can get both Adams and Garbers over there with some rolls, but man, Aaron Gled's a sidestepper too, so he can't, surf him.
Yeah, I mean, everybody over there sidesteps, so you can't.
I'm not sure there's like
the cage dive is a 2+ on or two die on the ball, but with Adams for dive in with a 6+.
6+ with a reroll.
Yeah.
Is it worth it though? Because like Kazark's pointing out, like even if you get you blitz Stan Jones and take him down, and then you get Garbers over there with a diving tackle, you could just hand off to sure hands the next turn and like whoop, 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 and then you're in the end zone and it's over. So do you just
if you
go for it?
I mean, I think the cage dive might be I think this is what we're about to see.
What if you cage dive from the bottom, like below Stan Jones, so it's a better dodge? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh God, we might have to dodge through Shaq Lawson first. So 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. Oh God, I'm not sure we can even get to the bottom.
Yeah, no, I think you got to go through
5, 6, 7.
I mean, if you're gonna make the roll, make the roll. Roll the 6, win the game.
Just roll 6.
Oh,
He's
he's
going
for
through
the
stain.
That's terrible.
Yeah, I think you have to re-roll.
Yeah, he can't be on the ground. It's too easy if he's on the ground.
Yeah. Well, and we get a follow-up with Frenzy. And it's a 1 die.
Got him.
But takes him down. And a stun. Ooh.
So that's going to be fun because now you get the diving tackle on the ball.
Well, 1, 2, 3, 4,
reroll.
5, 6, 7, and a double GFI. Yeah.
Yeah, without a reroll, it's going to be fun. But I mean, you have to do that. You can't.
Yeah, I mean, you don't have any choice.
Yeah.
But like, oh, I'm just gonna leave him uncovered. Like, no, that's not gonna work. And because of the way Adam's moved, we now have tackle on Veronica. Decisions. Kazark saying this game. Clearly, you haven't played enough Blood Bowl. Anything can happen.
Yeah. I mean, he can still make him roll. If he rolls his dice here, he can make him roll dice next turn. So.
Yep, and we're in position. So
we'll have to roll some dice with no rerolls. I think you go for it twice with Alexander to try to put him in front of Shaq Lawson there.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, no. Unless you do that with Phobo, maybe?
1, 2, 3. Maybe.
Get a guy, just because that's fun.
Probably foul Stan Jones, just to send a message. I mean, that is technically a plain doofer. I'm not sure it's one I like.
I think you're needing the elves to fail a dice roll here.
Oh. Uh-oh. Do we get a chain push opportunity here?
Guy you can get to assist over there.
We could free up. Oh, no, that's not a.
You can bring AJ McCarron over there with no dice to get a 2 die to push him free.
True. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep. Get a 2 die. We can get Lawson free, and then we could try to 2 die Garbers, or do we want to like throw over both of them? Is that insane?
Well, no. I mean, you can if you get Lawson free, you can blitz Garbers for the 2 die with no block.
But he's a Roger, so you'd have to POW him. So would you? Well, either way, you get a person over here. Do you 1 die blitz through with Glenn? Oh, we got the wrestle free. That's smart. Or just roll POW.
Just roll POWs and win the game. Doesn't matter.
Well, no, we still gotta make a dodge.
Still gotta roll dice.
Still gotta make. It's just a 2+. When has that ever failed anybody?
1 in 36. Nobody ever fails those. Right?
Nobody fails those. Just roll 6s. And that's our Super Bowl. In a shocking turn of events, the Green Baynana Grabbers that were up 2-0 couldn't find a way to put the game away. Therefore, the Houston Treants come all the way back, send it to overtime, and then win it in overtime. Third time was the charm for Baz Akastine against Guru in the finals, so congrats to him. Hell of a game, hell of a season.
Is that you had a really good year of correct predictions? Is that a correct prediction from your third time as the charm? At least can we get some love there?
No, I'm not shouting anything out to myself. I had Rel and Guru in the Super Bowl, so I wasn't quite there. But this is literally the third time that Baz faced Guru in the Super Bowl. Yeah. The last 2 times was with Rats. So
no, that was everything we could want in the game, though. That was well coached by everybody. And just fun to watch.
A lot of tough scenarios that none of us really would have wanted to been in personally, except for the fact that it was in the Super Bowl. But there's a lot of tough calls that had to be made, and both coaches made them, and eventually,
And, two dead elves. You can't argue with two dead elves. Anytime there's two dead elves, everybody's happy, right?
Considering that that's how the game started, yeah, there was a kill and then a seriously injured in the first 2 turns, and another kill in the first. Like, it actually went pretty good for the elves, considering that's how it started. But all right.
Like I said, the elves. I mean, you're down 2-0. It looks really bad. And great job. Good back.
Sir. All right. Thanks, Das, for joining me. Amon, Dutch, Gark, Jeffro, Kazark, Wog, and everybody else who's listening and will watch this in the future. It's been a blast. Season's over. Draft starts tomorrow, so see you then.
Yeah, we'll do it again next season.
Yes,
Good
sir.
job, everybody.